What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are finally going to be finishing up this damn engine bay on this E30. I know you guys are probably sick and tired of these engine bay videos, but the work has to be done, so might as well make videos on it. In the last video, I basically went ahead and got all this metal plating and stuff welded down, and I also covered up all the little holes that were in the engine bay. Like there was a hole right here, a hole right here, all throughout here on both sides. There was just a bunch of unnecessary brackets and holes everywhere, so I got all that covered up. I also covered up the windshield wiper hole right here, so there's gonna be no windshield wipers on the car. And this is the heater core hole right here, so heater core is all plugged up. So all I basically need to do now is just Bondo it. But I'm not just gonna be using any Bondo, I'm gonna be using this 3M finishing glaze right here that I went ahead and picked up today. This stuff is more smooth than like regular Bondo, and it's also more flexible as well than regular Bondo. Regular Bondo will like crack if it flexes a little too much, but this stuff has a little bit more room, so it's much better to use in an engine bay, and that's what I'm going to be doing today. Well, that's what I'm going to be doing in today's video. And this is just a quart of regular gray primer that I went ahead and picked up as well, which is obviously going to be towards the end of the video when I get this thing all primered up. But if you guys are wondering what this thing is right here, this is actually a pretty cool piece. I had this in my last E30. This is a wiring harness cover that comes off of an E30 M3, which pretty much hides everything all behind this cover, and it makes the engine bay look a lot more cleaner. And it gets mounted up to this like AC plate right here. This is the original plate. Originally I was going to cover this big old hole, but I just went ahead and threw the plate back on there. You're not even going to see this when it's color matched to the engine bay anyway, so that's going to look all good. But yeah, just this plastic cover is like 180 bucks, I believe, or 160, somewhere around that ballpark. But it cleans up the engine bay so well. But yeah, I just went ahead and mocked it up just to see what it's going to look like. So this piece right here is actually mounted up in like a little hole right here, but this piece has no mounting spot because this little nipple right here is supposed to go into a hole. So I'm gonna build a little bracket that sits right here and then drill a hole in there just so that has somewhere to sit and it won't move around like this. So that's probably what I'm gonna be working on first before I move on to like the glazing putty part of this video. But before that, here's a quick little word from our sponsor.
Check. What you got?
You tell me.
Full house. And that's how you win the game, ladies and gentlemen. Are you tired of having your ass bluffed? Well, now you can bluff their ass with a pair of Simply Carbon Fiber glasses. This video is brought to you by Simply Carbon Fiber. Maybe you don't want a pair of glasses. Maybe you want a phone case. Don't mind the broken phone. Maybe you want a wallet. We have no money. Credit cards are all maxed out. But still, link will be down below. Plus, I have a 10% off coupon code down the link below. So make sure you guys take advantage of that. Go to simplycarbonfiber.com. Get yourself a phone case. It's upside down. Get yourself a wallet. Credit cards maxed out. Or get yourself some poker glasses and go bluff your ass off in a poker game. You're guaranteed to win. So thank you, Simply Carbon Fiber, for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get back to the video.
Now that we're back, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and build that quick little bracket right there. Guys, check this out. I went ahead and made that nice little piece right here. Can't even tell that's even there. But now this plastic piece has a nice place to just sit on, and the curves and everything match it too, so that looks really good right there. So now it's time to start on the bodywork portion of this engine bay. This is probably going to take a really long time for me to do because of all these little corners and stuff like that. But yeah, I got my mixing tray right here, got the finishing glaze right here, and then the spreaders right here, so I'm all ready to go. Now it's just a matter of putting all the man hours in to getting this thing looking like a really clean and shaved engine bay. So let me go ahead and mix up some glaze and start slapping it on here. Alright guys, so I got the first layer of finishing glaze already on both sides. Obviously this is not how the final product is gonna look like. The only shitty thing about this finishing glaze is that it's really really thin and it just flows really well, which has its perks but it also has its downsides. So it's a little bit annoying to work with. That's why you see a lot of like dripping areas and stuff like that on both sides. But either way, I try to make it work as best as I can. This is just the first layer. I have to first sand down this layer and then most likely slap on another layer. There's probably going to be like 3 layers of finishing glaze on here. I know it looks like a lot, but it really isn't. Once you get it all sanded down, most of it goes away anyway. So that's what I'm going to do in the next few clips. I'm going to sand all this down and then just keep slapping on some glaze and then basically just work from there. It's just a repeated process from there. So let me get to work. Guys, I didn't get every little thing on camera, but I'm finally done with the majority of this engine bay. By the way, all those last clips that you guys just saw were in like a span of like 4 to 5 days, and you guys didn't even see everything. I didn't even get every little thing on camera because it was just so much sanding and stuff like that. But let me go ahead and show you guys what it looks like. So this side I had went ahead and sprayed like a coat of just primer on it just to see what it'll look like. But yeah, everything is finally all done and sanded up. Like literally all the edges, all the corners are finally all done. And that thing is looking really good. This side, I didn't even spray primer. Because either way, I'm going to go ahead and spray primer in a bit anyway. So yeah, both sides are all completely done. Everything is looking immaculate. But it took me so damn long to do just those both sides. Like just to do both of those sides took me like 4 to 5 days of work. I literally have like no more fingerprints on the tips of my fingers because of all the sanding and shit like that. I'm just so sick of sanding at this point, but there's still more to do. So the last couple things that I need to do before primer is I have to fill in these little ones that I covered up before because I haven't even touched those yet. So I just gotta put some body filler in there. But before I could do that, I'm gonna go ahead and use this seam sealer right here that I got from AutoZone and just seam seal all the edges that are like exposed. Like under here has to get seam sealed, all these little corners have to get seam sealed, even on this side I'm gonna have to seam seal there too. But yeah, just like little parts here and there I just have to seam seal just so no moisture or anything like that gets in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that first, and then I'll get these holes filled in and all sanded up. So I'll get back to you guys once I get all that done. Alright guys, so everything is now finally done. Went ahead and patched up all those areas right there as you saw from that last clip. So now it's finally time to get this thing primed up. But before I could do that, I gotta scuff down all the parts that I didn't really like touch. Basically I'm basically just gonna scuff down the entire engine bay and then finally get this thing all primed up. I can't wait to see what it looks like with the primer on there. So let me quit talking, get down to work. I'm gonna go ahead and scuff it up. I might just do the scuffing off camera and then just go straight to priming the engine bay.
Alright guys, we finally got this damn engine bay all primered up and ready to go. I went ahead and shot like a really thick coat of primer on both of these areas right here, just so I can sand it down and like you won't see any of the little imperfections and stuff like that, because obviously there's still like little like dots of stuff here and there. I don't know how well you guys can tell on camera, but yeah, there's some really thick coats of primer on here. It's finally looking really good now. Just check that out, guys. Just look at how good this came out. All the edges are looking good now. This just needs some sanding, but I'm not going to be sanding this anytime soon. I'll go ahead and sand it and get it ready once I'm ready to paint the engine bay the color of the car. So it's basically just going to sit like this for a little while. That finally brings us to the end of this video and the end of this damn engine bay series, because I'm sick and tired of sanding this engine bay. I don't even have any more fingertips left. Thanks to Nadek for helping out, and then Osh for not doing jack shit besides sitting on the freaking couch.
He's here for moral support.
Yeah, he's just here for moral support, yeah. Even though he doesn't even do that. Let me know if you guys enjoyed it. In the next video, we're finally going to start something new on the car. I'll probably move on to tearing apart the rear end of the car, like dropping the gas tank and all that stuff, but we'll see when the time comes. So without further ado, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, comment down below what you guys think. You guys think it came out good or not? And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.